Hi there, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to a special edition of Irish Poker Tour, a live preview of the main the Irish Poker Tour final at the Green Isle at the end of this month between Christmas and New Year's. And as a special event, one of the events that's happening on the Saturday is the last 16 event for the leaderboard, and I've got the number one and number two in the leaderboard at the moment, both Team Pro members. Paul Carr and Darren Harbinson. Good evening, folks. How are you?
Well, how are you?
How's it
Not too
going?
bad. Have I got you from either end of the country? One from Limerick and one from up north.
We do, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm in Galway. I'm in Galway now. Living in Galway the last 6 or 7 years. I'm from Limerick,
I was just wondering if I had you down there in Limerick, and I'm in the Midlands, so we would have a straight line between the two. But
So Galway, the north and the Midlands.
That's it. We thought we'd have a just a quick 20 minutes, half an hour talk about this event that's happening in the Green Isle, and it's like the culmination of all the Irish Poker Tour events during the year. We've had some massive ones, we've had some small ones, but the common theme about everything that's gone on is that every single player that's played a tournament can win points to the leaderboard. And it seemed like a great idea at the beginning of the year. So my question to you guys is, was it a good idea? Did it encourage you guys to play more poker, or was there more pressure on you as the year came to the end? Paul, you've ended up as the leader, the winner of the board itself, but we've moved on to this now final tournament of the last 16 playing down on the Saturday in the Green Isle Hotel. So have you felt pressure being on the leaderboard for the whole year, being up there at the top?
At the end of the year, I think everybody started playing a bit more because they wanted to get into the top 16. Because like there's a 40k free roll, and in the top three get money as well. So I think the last couple of months, definitely played a lot more. It was very close between me and Darren there about 2 months ago, and I just got a few wins at the end and went ahead. But throughout the year, though, I think it's a great idea for the Irish Poker Tour, like the league, because it gets people playing all the side events, and definitely I think the last month or so, everybody was trying to get in. Like that few people are coming down out to Galway this week just to try and get into the top 16 because there are just a few outside it. So it's a great idea, I think.
And they, I mean, the loads of players now. I just put that up there. Like, you ran away with it, mate. Like 8,600 points with Darren in second place at 4,890. So my question to Darren is, at what point did you realise you were buggered? you weren't going to catch Paul.
Well, listen, I always thought it was hard with me being up from the north as well. It was hard, to travel down maybe 4, 5, 6 hours for one of the smaller side of the tour games. So listen, I was just happy to challenge him for as long as it did, but I don't think it was ever in doubt that the big man would have ran away with it in the end. It was always going to happen. Okay, but no, I think after the lunacy, I think I topped it for about a week. I think it was on top for about a week. He took a head staggers and went away and played everything and quickly changed that around, put me back in my box.
Well, I played a lot more tournaments now than down.
And was that was your strategy, or did it become your strategy later in the year as it became evident that it was important to play as many events as you could?
With me, I don't know, it was very close up until only a couple of weeks ago. I only started pouring ahead only a couple of weeks ago. Me and Darren were very close all year. I'd say only in the last maybe 6 or 8 weeks, I just had a good couple of months and I poured ahead. But even in Dublin, in the Green Isle there, maybe about 5 or 6 weeks ago, Darren won the PLO side of it. And there was fuck all in it. There was about 1,600, 1,700 points. I was actually getting worried, to be honest with you. I was there just could catch me. Do you know what I mean? It just turns up every now and again and binks an old tournament or wins something. So I didn't go too far ahead up until about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Other than that, it's been really close with me and Darren throughout the year.
Yeah, it was definitely challenging, Dave. It really was. I mean, there was at one stage, I think at the very beginning, me, Paul, Ian, and Shane got a wee bit of a gap. Yeah, we got a wee bit of a gap. And we were fighting, for the top three. Obviously, Finton's up there as well, but he was dropping out. But it was close all year round. And me and Paul got a wee bit of a gap further again on the other two. And I was just going back and forward. He was getting a couple of hundred more than me, and I was closing it, and then going back and forward, back and forward. And yeah, as Paul says, the Omaha the Omaha game brought it down to, I think, Jesus, 1,400 points. Sure, if you win one of the mains, you're getting 1,000 anyway, so it was absolutely nothing in it. And then I came home. I missed the. What did I miss? Was it Cork? I'm not too sure. I missed Cork, and yeah, Paul just cleaned up. He just cleaned up. More points. So I settled for second place.
It was interesting to know that the points in the side events actually did count quite a lot, particularly that once Paul had pulled away, the 4, 5, 6 guys, including yourself, Ian, Shane, Andrew, Toole, Keith Toohey, like playing those side events really, really made a difference in the leaderboard and the chance to ladder up, as it were. Did you? I mean, looking at like Paul, you pretty much played everything, but in terms of Darren, you only played like 30 events, 31 events all year. Yeah. So you can, I suppose, take a bit of pride in the fact that you got the points you did because you had to finish well in the events that you had to make the most of the events you were in, rather than
he's a lot of points. Well. There's a lot of points. Darren has a lot of points for the amount of tournaments that he played. He played only like 31 tournaments or 30 tournaments. Like that's an unbelievable amount of points for that amount of tournaments. Like it's some run, like for a small amount that he played. Like obviously he works as well. Can't get as much as I get. So some fucking achievement to get that many points for the small amount that he played. Like.
I appreciate it. No, my problem was I think I played the 2 or 3 sides the whole year. To be honest, obviously I played the mystery bounties, every mystery bounty, but classify that as a big enough game, the mystery bounty games. But my problem was that when I bust the main event, and fortunate enough this year, I've sort of ran into most day twos in the main events. When I bust the main event, I'm not going to play a side event. I'm not in the right headspace. So whereas Paul can bust and jump straight in, don't give himself 10 minutes and go and win it, I'm still fuming for about 4 or 5 hours of what's just happened in the main event to me. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, no, I can take a lot of pride. I can take a lot of pride in finishing second with the amount of games I played. But yeah, there's always going to be one winner, I think, in the end of it.
Is that why you jumped into the PLO, or did you have an inkling that you'd like to play a PLO event later in the year or at some point? I mean, it was. Let's set the scene. It was your first official PLO event.
Yeah, it was.
And you won it. And you won it.
And you won it.
I won it. Yeah. No, listen, running. They talk about running like God, eh? No, I was sitting on the Saturday. I played the main event. I went down the Friday and I bust Mystery Bounty quite early on the Friday. So I seen I could play day 1A of the main. And usually I play the main event on the Saturday. But I said, I'm going to jump in, and I went through with a big enough stack, so I wasn't going to play again. I was like, what do I do? Do I sit in the bar and get full and watch the football, or to go and play with a PLO? So decided to register the PLO, and happy enough I got an Norway trophy up the road, so can't complain too much.
Yeah, that's when I was up in Dublin and he won that. Like I was like, Jesus, if he gets another result, like it's going to be really close. Like it would have made some sweat to the end of it, but yeah, around that time, all right. Like I think there was only 1,500 points or something at that point. That was only like about 6 or 8 weeks ago, was it, Darren?
Yeah, not even 6 weeks. Yeah, not even maybe 5.
Maybe less. Yeah. So that's what I was getting worried. I was definitely getting worried at that time. I was like, because I really wanted to win it as well. Some of us wanted to win it, to be honest about it. Like, anyone that plays it would like to win it and get the bracelet and be the winner at the end of the year. Obviously I've played loads because I've went to them all. That's what I do, playing the tournaments or whatever. So it's just great to get it at the end of the year, to get the bracelet in a few weeks or 2 weeks time in Dublin, and it's good. Like from here.
Would either of you say that you've improved your games over the last 12 months enough based on the fact that you're played for the leaderboard points? Or do you think it could distract from your game because you're trying to maximize your positioning in certain events, or are you trying to, it does distract from what would be considered your normal game? And how did it affect the way you played over the year? Was it just the volume that was affected?
For me personally, I started off. Go ahead, Paul. Do you want to go ahead? You go first, Paul.
No, go on. No, work away.
Oh, the champion has to go first. Let's hear you.
No, when you're playing so many tournaments, obviously you're going to get better. So, like if you're traveling away, like there's a stopwatch every 2 weeks at your poker tour. So obviously, when you're playing, the more tournaments you play, or the more experience you're going to get. And like the players at the Irish Poker Tour are after getting a lot better. As Dawn said on the podcast, just call Paul, so I can't get a fucking bluff through to save my life these days. But it's just like there's people calling me and they're laughing at me when I'm walking away from the table or whatever. Like, but obviously, like, with me, like, I stopped drinking about 18 months ago, and my game is after coming on an awful lot since then. I was playing these tournaments, I was going around the place drunk, and obviously probably wasn't playing as well as I could, so went to the gym, lost a bit of weight, and playing a lot more poker, and after having a good year on that or whatever. But, like, definitely, the more you play, the better you're going to get, obviously. If you're playing loads of poker, you're definitely going to get a bit better,
I'd say people are very familiar with Paul, but at the start of this year, maybe not so much Darren. Darren, how did you sort of make that move from the lads up north in Rinty's club and Antrim Sports Club, knowing you and knowing that you were fairly good to, Jesus, everybody in Irish Poker Tour now knows about you, and you've had some good finishes in some of the other Irish games as well, most recently with the IPO, etc. So how have you found jumping on the scene and going from that sort of local level player to being second in the leaderboard for the Irish Poker Tour?
Yeah. Oh, no, listen, well, obviously everyone knows I started up in Renty's club up in here in Antrim, and listen, at the beginning it was just getting out of the house and for a couple of hours, and I just really took a real fancy to the game. I just really enjoyed it, and then I could see you can make money at it. And when I first started playing in the club, I took it very, 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 very serious. Like, I want to win, I want to win. Now I just, unfortunately, I've got something in my head where I just can't win in that club. Doesn't matter what I do, I can't do. But no, my big mate, McVeigh, Liam, came down to the club. Met him in the club. He came down, and his first term he went down to Galway, and I ended up winning Galway last year. So I was like, Jesus, and Liam's a great guy. I was like, this is the sort of talent we can bring out of this club. I've been playing a bit longer than Liam at this stage, and I thought, if Liam can do it, then I can go and give this a blast. And obviously, people know I go everywhere. We're Renty, and we just started coming back and forth to the IPT games, the tour games, and chatting with Fenton and Donald and getting a real buzz around the place, and meeting Big Paul again, and just everyone else. And it's like, I'm not missing this. I just want to keep going down and down and down. And I mean, started going back down, and I mean, I can see a massive change in my game. Like, I've definitely 100% improved, and I just said that I'm going to try and do my best and make this year a good one. And thankfully, I've done that. Now I just want to keep going this way instead of keeping it level.
Well, so we're asked everybody to put some comments in. If you're watching live on YouTube or watching live on Facebook, you can actually ask a question or make a comment. So I got one here from Andrew Hinder McGee. So, what was the most difficult tournament? Also, I find it difficult with antes. How do you adjust to them? Paul, how would you answer Adam there?
The most difficult tournament.
Yeah.
Is it?
That you played this
They're
year.
all difficult, sure. Jesus, I don't know. There's been played so many now. I couldn't tell you because, like, every time I go away, like, they're all kind of difficult. Do you know what I mean? They're playing the main event. Like, mainly when they play like a main event, then there's like 600, 700, 800 players in it, and you're playing for like maybe 2 days, and you get down and you come 10th or 12th. It's so frustrating, like, because the money is all up in the top 3 or top 4, and you're after beating like 800 or 900 players, and you only get like a main cash or something, or a couple of hundred. Like, I suppose that's probably the most frustrating part about the game as well. Like, when you're playing, like.
I've got somebody who wants to answer that question, by the way.
Guys, how are you getting on?
Not too bad yourself.
Yeah,
you want to answer that question, do you?
Well, Fenton is definitely the toughest opponent I've had all year, anyway, because every tournament I've busted, he's probably bust me out of at least 90% of them, and slagged the whole off me when I've been walking away after busting me from the tournaments.
That's how he won Cork. I left, right? And he wins the tournament. Come here, that question, that was Adam, was it? With the question, what's the toughest tournament? Okay, I know, well, for me, the toughest tournament is the one that you have no money left, okay? That's the toughest tournament, like,
Every tournament I play.
That's for sure.
That's every tournament I play, so.
It's so easy to play a tournament when, you've unlimited bullets to fire, like,
Actually, that's a very good question. Did being an Irish Poker Tour pro help with your game, Darren? Because obviously Paul's only because the team behind Irish Poker Tour ignored Paul Carr for so long this year. You were a team pro right from the beginning. So how did that help your game in terms of being able to enter as many events or take part?
No, yeah, it definitely helped. It definitely, well, for me personally, it's not that I looked at it in a way like, this is going to help me massive. I looked at it in a way that, I'm representing something. I have to maybe try that extra bit harder, not to let anybody down or myself down. So it gives you a wee bit more of a, feel like a level head and a bit more trying on understanding the game. I looked into understand the game a wee bit more to make sure that I wasn't doing any fuck ups, basically. But to answer Adam's question, I've actually going this year for me personally, the toughest one I played was that the festival there just passed. I've never experienced like just the players that played in that tournament was just unbelievable. Like, I mean, I sat there. I was fortunate enough to have a decent stack, so I was able to, just sit and relax and enjoy the clock, and just watching some of them players play poker. Just, I just sat in amazement for most of it, to be honest with you.
Was that the Irish Poker Festival in Intercontinental?
Yeah. So it was like, the eventual winner, Michael Molinar, like the boys, he's younger than me, and the man's an absolute beast. Like, he's unbelievable.
He came second in Prague.
Yeah, seen that, 180 grand there just last week.
Leader, like, unbelievable.
Yeah, unreal.
A bit like Carr at the Irish Poker Tour.
Yeah, he got more for coming. He got more for coming second there last week than I did for the whole year.
I've got a couple more questions. We'll try here. Shane Buchanan is, do you play poker for a living, either of you?
I play poker for a living, yeah.
I don't. Not yet. Right. Hopefully soon. Hopefully sometime soon. But not yet.
Stop, man. Stop. Stay where you are. Trust me. Barry will tell you, it's a horrible life. It really is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a job for next year, actually.
For fuck's sake, you sleep in every morning.
Well, Carr, you're going to have to hear the announcement, because we're getting rid of Team Pro. It's just not working, and we're retaining.
Jesus, I'm going to be up with fortune next year. We're getting rid of Team Pro. It's after costing me a fortune. Do you know when you get taken on as a Team Pro, you're meant to be happy days. Well, that I think it's after costing me more money this year to play poker for their poker or the that. Stop it, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I've got another one there. I just wondered who might take a punt at answering that question.
Oh, the donkey himself.
I can't. I can't see it. I can't see it. It's close one.
Some young man called Paul Rinty Monaghan wants to know: are the donkeys playing over Christmas or saving themselves for the Green Isle?
I have one game left before Christmas, and it is our Des Stewart Memorial Cup we have in our club in Antrim. It's our biggest game of the year. It's actually this weekend. It's on Saturday, and then we have, after that, I'll settle, enjoy Christmas, and then head to the Green Isle to take Paul Carr by the roots in the final. I don't care if I go out 14th, as long as he's out 15th.
You'll have to try and get the silver bracelet, the gold bracelet.
Here's one from Jerry Fitzgerald. Never heard of him. Jerry, for anyone who doesn't know, Jerry is the videographer and the photo premier poker photographer in Ireland. Does all the photographs with some of the other lads for Irish Poker Tour. But he says, who else do you reckon has a shot at the Irish Poker Tour final amongst the 16 apart from yourselves?
Well, any of the 16.
Now that Finton has dropped out.
I don't think any of us were worried about Finton anyway, apart from Paul Carr. So, but no, listen.
Yeah, he was different.
Any one in the top 16. I mean, and the top 16 is not finalised yet either. I was talking to, the other two boys in the team, the two twins, Ray and Robbie. Robbie's heading to Galway this weekend. He's only a couple of 100 points short, so he'll be busting his balls to get in. So, I mean, anybody in that top 16.
Looking at like some of the names just below the top 16, you've got like Dara Carney, Paul Monaghan. Funny enough, both of them involved with IBT, and like Ian O'Flynn. Robbie, you said, so there's some really good players, just a few 100 points. And one of the big things about the points for leaderboards that I mentioned earlier is that the side events have such good points in them that it's worth playing them if you're anywhere near that bottom level of the 16 and have a chance of jumping up into it.
Well, it makes sense when you see Paul Carr played every single side event and missed main events. It makes sense now, doesn't it? With a smile in his face.
Yeah, well, there's a few that's just outside the top 16 that are probably going to be coming to Galway this weekend. There's a festival on in the Eagleton Casino in Galway this weekend, and there's a few like fighting to get into the top 16 that are probably going to come to that. But in the top 16 for that league on the 28th, like, actually, Darren is right. Like, anybody could win that. Anybody in the top 16 that's in that is good enough to win it. Like, anybody could win it, you know. Should be a good crack anyway, because we all know each other. Should be good with a buzz up around her. But anyone that's in that top 16 could win out that. Like.
Fintan, I wanted to ask you about the leaderboard itself. I mean, are you happy with what it provided poker players in Ireland this year for the last 12 months? And the big question is, will there be a 2024 version of the leaderboard?
Yeah, really good questions. I mean, the leaderboard, it's a tough one because it's like it costs us money, the leaderboard. Do you know what I mean? To run the leaderboard. We don't get anything for it, like, you know. And then we get like 10K Paddy Power, which are partners and sponsors. They're good enough to add 10K on top. So it's a great thing for the players. Do you know what I mean? To, you know, there was a couple of, you know what I mean? There was a couple of valid points from players like who were saying, well, like we don't have a chance because Darren and Paul Carr, like they're, you know, top level players and they're playing every event. Well, certainly Paul was, maybe not Darren, you know, and we just like, you know, we just can't beat him. And it's true, like you can't, like Paul is one of the best, like for me, like, and I hate saying it because, you know, I don't like to give him, don't like to make his head big, but for me, he's the best live player in the country, without a doubt. I'm sure Darren would agree with me there, like, you know, at this kind of level, like, you know, 100, 200 up to 1K, I'd say Paul Carr is the best player in Ireland. Fact, that's what I would say. So when you put him there and he's playing every event, so then, like, you know, some guys are saying they know how strong Paul is, they know how strong Darren is. Do you know what I mean? And they just go, well, like this is you know, this is an uphill battle. Do you know what I mean? To try and win that, like, you know. So that was kind of a, if there was a neg, that would be the neg. But then I'd say, well, like, you know, how else can we do it? You know, how else do you do it? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, people have to get rewarded for winning tournaments, you know? So we're going to look at it. We don't know. We haven't made our mind up, but we know, like, our team pros they won't be like in the same role next year, that we won't have a team pro stable, like, do you know what I mean? We will have ambassadors, like, you know. There's something big on the horizon for Paul, which I believe will be announced in the next week or two. And Darren is going to be announced as an ambassador for ourselves, you know. So the team pro thing, I think it was brilliant. It worked. I think the leaderboard is a brilliant thing. But I think it's done, you know, it served its purpose. I don't know how we're going to do it next year yet. We have some good ideas. All of the ideas include money being added by the sponsor, which is fantastic. That's the key, like, do you know what I mean? That we as operators aren't taking any money out of it, and the sponsor is adding money to it. So that's the good news, yeah. So I suppose watch this space. You're going to see it announced in the next few weeks.
I think the idea of having a leaderboard where there's a winner, but also the top 16 get to play down for a prize was really, really good as well, because you know, I'm sure Paul would have liked to take the whole prize pool just on his own by finishing top at the end. But it does add that final element to it. At the end of the year, there is a game to play where the guy that comes 16th or the girl that comes 16th can win and can come top. So
and can win the money. Yeah, I mean the money was huge. We did a forecast. We didn't guarantee anything, but we forecasted 40K, and that was kind of, we were going high. You know, obviously it was a promotion. So we were going, our kind of top end was 40K. So now we've hit 50K, which is, I mean, it's just fantastic. Like, do you know what I mean? And I have the leaderboard here in front of me, and it's great to see, like, Zeke, Geddes, you know, Chavi, James Gettins, James O'Brien, which, I mean, he's just, this guy, James O'Brien, he's an inspiration for the old guys. I tell you, he's unbelievable. Like, you know, I have a running joke with him. How many tournaments did you win this week? He's unreal. Like, he's performing, and like the guy holds down a pretty serious full-time job at the same time. Other guys here really impressed me now. Patrick Eagers in Dublin, like for me, like he's been kind of the surprise package. I knew Patrick to see in that, like, but I battled with him over the Omaha games, side games, and that, like, and for me, he's just, I don't know, lads, what do you think of his play? But for me, he's improved so much. He's really playing top level stuff, like, and it's great to see him in there. And then you have, like, the Cork lads, which is great, like Morad, Trevor Deneen, Andy Toole, and then of course, like, Derek, who's Derek Baker, So yeah, and then of course the Galway lads up the top along with Darren.
I have honestly no idea how Derek Baker does it, because he's never off his bloody phone, right, at the table. Like, he's always watching some sport that he has something invested in or something. He's never looking at his cards, and he does so well. He's constantly got his head in his phone.
That's brilliant. I think one of the reasons he does well is he just doesn't fold. He calls me all the time, and he calls Carrie. So I think he makes a lot of big pots that way. Like, he just calls, like, But yeah,
Derek at 90% or more.
How was that, Paul?
Derek and 90% of the people always calling me thanks to Dawn, and the podcast just called for Paul. Oh, stop.
Yeah, no, look, it's been good. It's been, like, for me, I love live poker, and, like, I played a lot of the events over the year, and I just loved it. I stopped playing the mains and just did the side events, and I loved it. Like, there was a few people saying I shouldn't play the main events because I was the operator, and some people said that's so what, like, but then I thought, maybe there's validity to what they're saying. So I just retired then from the main events. I would have absolutely wiped this leaderboard if I did stay playing the main events. There'll be no doubt about that.
When is the last time you got points? You definitely wouldn't have wiped the leaderboard anyway.
Okay, Paul, let's just get
and that's a fact.
But if it wasn't for all in our folds, right, you wouldn't be number one in that leaderboard, okay?
We'll take up one on your phone, but you definitely wouldn't have won that leaderboard anyway. I told you stay in it. I told you not to leave. I said I didn't want to win it if you put out. I said stay in it, and you didn't. But you wouldn't have won anyway. You wouldn't have been beat down. Not to mind me.
I was actually ahead of you in points, Paul, when I retired. When I stopped playing main events.
Yeah, Dawn must have been giving you extra points if you were anyway, because I didn't see that.
We've got two important questions. The first one is from Shane Keary. Fintan, will you get Carrie some AirPods for Christmas?
Shane, how are you doing? Actually, Shane was right. Shane came third, which is incredible. Because he hasn't played in a couple of months, and you know what I mean. He hasn't travelled as much, as a lot of players. So I mean, third place, incredible, and he had some cashes abroad, like, that weren't counted. You know what I mean?
There's hope for everyone if Shane came third anyway, so everyone should keep playing poker. If Shane Carey finished third, just to let everybody know that's listening in on this, if you're even 99 years of age and you want to take up poker, you'll probably still be better than Shane Carey, because he's absolutely fucking atrocious. He's the worst poker player in the Irish poker tour by a million miles.
Shane will be sitting at home right now, and he's going to be laughing at himself, knowing that one wee tiny sentence has got Paul Carr to bite. One wee tiny sentence has got Paul Carr to bite.
He had me sideways now in a few tournaments through the year, all right, like. Texting something there, like.
Yeah, keep firing, but his carry.
You donkey.
Oh, stop.
Oh, brilliant. Right. There's I literally coming to that to this next question, Fintan. Basically, James Sullivan was asking there, what's with the size of a lot of events, festivals this year, how much growth can Irish Poker Tour continue to show? Like, I mean, Are these events
Great
going to
question.
outgrow the venues? Are we going to be playing poker every weekend and half of us going to get divorced for more than like the second and third time? Poor Darren there's only just got married, so and he's more kids than, a Mormon family. What? Well, there's only so much poker left in us, is there? Or can this thing go bigger and bigger and bigger as it seems to be going?
Yeah, I'm just reading these messages myself. And shout out to John Hannon there. He went down to Killarney to restart his poker career, but he ended up going on the lash, drinking solid for 4 days, and he didn't play anything. That's something.
He must have bumped into Charlie and Ross if he went drinking for 4 days and he went down to Cork anyway, because the boys love to drink anyway.
No, but this kind of ties in with James O'Sullivan's question there. Like Killarney is really our flagship. If there was one event to sum up the Irish Poker Tour, I think Killarney is.
I agree.
Like, it's just crack. It's just leave everything at the door. You go in, you enjoy yourself. You play everything. We're trying to make it. We're trying to make it suitable for everyone. We've increased the buy-in now for 2024. It's going to be slightly bigger, like 700 odd buy-in, but we want to try and retain the fun, the recreational, element to it, So we don't know. Like we're on a bit of a rocket at the moment. Things are just going really well for us the last few years. We like to think we're doing things well. We like to think we're listening to players. We like to think the operational side is being tweaked and perfected every time. It should be, because we're running more events than anyone in this region or many other regions. We should be the best. We've no excuse not to be the best at what we do.
But we do. One thing I would say about that, or would ask you about that, or to comment on, is like everybody knows it's Fitton and Donal, but there's a hell of a lot more people in the background than Fitton and Donal. And
totally.
I think they make what we now would consider Irish Poker Tour.
Yeah, it's a huge team. Like right now you're listening to me and yourself, Dave, who's a big important part. And of course the ambassadors and team pros like Paul and Darren. But there's huge, there's like Susie, Paulina, there's like the graphics team, there's Jerry who does a solid job. It's a huge team. And then it's the sponsor. Like we've got in Paddy Power, timing was just beautiful for us, because they're just the perfect fit. Do you know what I mean? They stand for what we stand for. They're, and I'm going to sound like a bit of an asshole here, but we got other, offers from other companies, but it's just no comparison to what Paddy Power brings to the table, because they're for the punters. They like punters because they're their customers, and they're into the kind of recreational guys, the 50-pound guy, you know what I mean? That's what we are, So we're really lucky with the partners we have, and the guys in Paddy Power themselves. They understand poker, do you know what I mean? They're smart. They're really, really smart. They're switched on, and they really are generous to us, because they know it's tough work. These live events, people come along to a tournament and they walk in and they go, "Oh yeah, this is easy." Do you know what I mean? The boys are printing money here. I'll do this. Do you know? Bang away, lads. You know what I mean?
Go for it.
It's just a heartbreaker. Live events, they're difficult because they're unpredictable. That's the main thing. Live events, and particularly with poker,
And not to mention dealers and floor staff. It's just incredible.
But that's what you see.
The list is endless.
There's layers and layers and layers, and it's super, super difficult. Our sponsors realize that, because they're smart. They're in business. They understand, and they know that we can't do this without them. They know you can't make a living, and that's why the support from them is crucial. And it's we're just lucky that we ended up with the right partners. And I think the
other thing about having a sponsor like Paddy Power, and you mentioned it there a little bit. These two guys here are entering events that I wouldn't have a hope in playing. Not a hope, but for €10 I'm on Paddy Power and I'm qualifying, right? I can play those same events that I can sit down at a table. And I don't mean me, I mean the royal me, as in, loads of us at my level that can sit down at a table with the Paul Carrs and the Darren Harbinsons and play hand for hand, because we were able to throw €10 on Paddy Power and play the satellite. And they've started doing packages for the events as well. Like for the Green Isle, it's like a €10 rebuy, and you get 3 nights accommodation, entry into a couple of tournaments, into the main event, and it's fabulous. It's really, really good, and that's the life and soul, and that's what they see in the likes of me playing in the Irish Poker Tour.
Yeah. But yeah, totally, Dave. But to circle back to James's question, how big can it go? Like, I mean, we're ambitious, but like, if we don't have like, support from the punters, from like the everyday guy, and support from our online partner, do you know what I mean? There's no real scope to grow big, but with support from Paddy Power and the support of the punters, I mean, the sky's the limit. Like, we've some really, really strong, ambitious plans coming up, and I like massive plans. We have the Monster, which we've some real exciting stuff. I can't really release the details yet. We've also the Portugal Adventure coming up, where we're all going to jump on a plane and head off to Sunshine Resort and play poker for like 6 days. So yeah, look, it's exciting. We're expecting a lot of stuff for 2024. Paddy Power have committed to continue to add value. I mean, this event here in the Galmont in January, there's 25k added to the prize pool. And like, this was a baseline thing when we did the deal with Paddy Power, that like, we just said, look, we want a good atmosphere. We want the support of the players. And I mean, let's be honest, it's players, like, they want value, like, do you know what I mean? That's what they want. They want to be treated with a bit of respect, and they want value. And that's what Paddy Power are doing. So yeah, that's just...
And variety as well. So, like, I mean, some of these events that are there in Galway, like, you're catering to all pockets. Like, even the main event, you can satellite in for 85 plus 15 in the venue, not just on Paddy Power.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Tell me also, there's something big happening in January, February in London.
Yes, London Poker Festival, which it's an independent festival. It's outside the Irish Poker Tour, but Paddy Power are supporting with satellites on iPoker. So yeah, that's kicked off already. It's going really, really, really well. I mean, there's several operators running online satellites right away. 1 million guaranteed festival, main event 700 buy-in, 500k. It's in Aspers in Westfield, which we've visited a couple of times. It's perfect setting. The hotel is class. Lads, you were there. Tell us your own experience as players.
Unreal. It really is. It's one I only went for the first time last year, and it's one that I don't think I'll ever miss again. It was just brilliant. It was brilliant. It really was. The hotel, even where the casino is, it's like the top of this big shopping mall. When it was actually Renty, he was telling me about it. And he's like, you'll not even realize it's a shopping centre. It's basically, you walk in, there's about 100 different you don't even need to leave this place. I mean, there's 100 different restaurants and bars. The casino has its own bar and food place. It's lovely. The poker room's amazing. Oh, listen, stop it. That was unreal. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Listen, we got
the total
question there.
I was over last year as well. It was really nice. I enjoyed it. It was a really good venue. The hotel is right next to it as well. It's a really good spot.
Cool. Fintan, there's satellites for that in many places, not just Paddy Power. There's a few other sponsors.
There's a bunch. There's a whole bunch of. I mean, it's all over there on the site. If you go LondonPokerFest.com, you see it. Like yeah. So yeah.
Cool. I got a question there from Jer Keenan. Says Fintan, any chance of bringing poker back to the Midlands?
Yeah, there definitely is, and it's going to the Irish Poker Tour. There is, like, Chop Pot are doing a great job there in the Midlands. Brendan and Mick, they run really super events. Yeah,
was that one of the weekend myself?
Sorry,
I was at their main event their end of the year event in Mullingar
I know,
on Saturday.
To them. Yeah, they do well. We have a good time for the lads. We will be doing a big event in the Midlands. Yeah, we're going to wait. We're actually we have a new tour manager starting in the next few weeks. It's one of the most known faces in Irish poker. He's a poker player, poker operator, highly respected, and he's coming in as tour manager for the Irish Poker Tour. It'll be his decision, like where we do tour stops, but the Midlands is somewhere where he's earmarked to do a major festival. So yeah, more about that like coming soon. Like, but definitely Ger, and a shout out to Ger. Thanks for tuning in. He's a great lad, Ger. He always texts me after an event. With always something sensible on how to improve. So that's always appreciated, Ger. Thanks.
Excellent. Guys, we'll probably wrap it up there now in a minute, but I just wanted to ask you, the pair of you, what you two might be looking forward to in 2024 after the bloodbath that will be the leaderboard final.
One of the tournaments. Go on, Darren. Work away there.
I forgot the champion always goes first. Keep going.
The one that I really, really enjoyed this year, and I was actually sad not leaving the hotel. I couldn't believe it. Like, was the Intercontinental Festival that was on up there. It was really, really one of the nicest hotels I've ever stayed in, and the tournaments were unbelievable. Like, I really am looking forward to come back there next year. That was probably my favourite tournament of the year this year.
Excellent. Darren?
Yeah, the Intercontinental. I mean, I think that was never in any doubt it was going to be what it was advertised to be, unreal. So I'm looking forward to that. But I mean, yeah, just as Quentin was saying earlier, the growth, the sky's the limit. So just being a part of that journey and see where it takes us well. That's what I'm just looking forward to for 24, Hopefully catch Paul somewhere down the line.
We got one question there that I think is something we should probably answer, because I think there's a very specific answer to this question, which is Malcolm McVitie asking, is there any hope of a tournament in Northern Ireland?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, Malcolm. But as you
ask
know,
our politicians.
Yeah, the legislation is a big challenge, But we're looking at doing something really big. I mean, there's the Northwest guys up there, Barry and Niall, and their sound lads, and we're speaking to them. We're looking at venues, and again, the new tour manager, which will be revealed in the next 2 weeks. He's got big plans for that part of the country. So yeah, we will be doing.
I mean, the closest we have as well. Sorry to interrupt there, but I mean, we have obviously the rules up here in our country is just terrible. I mean, they fight over what color a raindrop is. But I mean, we have on our tour stop, we have Dundalk, which Dundalk is very, very close to home for all of us, and it's a great stop as well on the tour. Dundalk's decently spot, it's 45 minutes for some of us, 10 minutes for others, so.
It's a nice little hotel since they did it up there, didn't they?
I thought it was great stuff. That was one of my favorite places because the room itself, the poker room was pretty class.
One of the very, very big. Yeah, it's one of the biggest we actually have in the stop. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you get some numbers in there now, that'd be buzzing. It's a nice room, nice clean room.
Yeah.
Grand. But is there any event that you're looking forward to, Darren, yourself over the next 12 months?
Probably just in the Irish sort of thing. You've got Killarney. I just can't wait to Killarney. I'd play Killarney every weekend if I could. It was just see the walk into the arena. And you're walking from your bedroom, from your apartment, and just walking in that arena. You just feel so important. It's unreal. It's brilliant. I'm just getting them into the ball card, swim costume.
There's loads of really good stuff throughout the year altogether, like Galway, Killarney, the Intercontinental, the Green Isles, a great venue as well for tournaments. There's just so many through the whole year. There's just so much to look forward to. It's unbelievable tour and unbelievable stuff. Like, it's just every second week there's somewhere good to go to. The venues are good, the games are good. They're getting more and more players as it goes on. Like, so it's actually really something to look forward to. Like, we'll be lost without it.
Fintan, you've got Paul Carr's bank details for the bank transfer for that, yeah?
That was about the most sensible thing I've heard him say.
In fairness to Paul, like, it's unbelievable what he's achieved this year. I mean, fair play to you, Paul. That's a testament to you. And like there's a few negative begrudgers out there, like trying to knock you for what you did. Not many now, but fair play to you. Like it's just unbelievable. I mean, it really is. It's a credit to you. Like
sounds, yeah.
and,
So.
like you know,
if Donald hadn't outed you on the podcast, you'd have won even more probably.
I had a brilliant year, and I'm really happy with it. You know, it was an unbelievable year for me. Thank God.
And something very exciting. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag because it's not up to me to say it, but something. Watch this space now in the next week or two. Something really, and it's totally deserving. Fair play to you, Paul.
Nice one, Fintan. Thanks.
We can't do that. You know, we can't leave it hanging on something like that. So we'll move on to the final.
We can. Of course we can.
Right. I think I'm going to end it there. Fintan, do you want to say something about the event in the Green Isle at the end of the year? I mean,
it was an absolute banger last year. I mean, it really was. Were you there, Darren? Were you?
Yeah, I finished fifth in the main event. You bollocks, you.
What?
That was my first result of the year. I got fifth in the main event.
Okay.
And that one there,
yeah. Sorry. No, it's an absolute banger because it's like the buy-in. It's the 150 buy-in, like, you know what I mean. So players are kind of not belittling €150, but players are banging away to the heart's content, you know. There's one thing we do is we're always very like deliberately adding Omaha events to the schedule. So we're getting a really pretty loyal following to the Omaha events. So you can see there.
We got Friday at 1:30. You got the Omaha 4 card at 2:20 plus 30, 25 minutes, 25-minute levels. And then on the Saturday at 7 p.m., we've got a round of 4 card, round of 5 card, 7 max, 5K guarantee. And that's for 200 entry on Saturday at 7 o'clock. So you have 2 separate events for Omaha in a regional event. This is not like a big massive festival where you'd have the odd Omaha tournament. I mean, Irish Poker Tour are throwing Omaha events in, and the 4 card, 5 cards is unique. You know, we don't see that anywhere else, Fintan.
Yeah, I mean, if you go abroad, obviously they're mad into the 5 card and 6 card. Like when we were in Aspers, we couldn't believe it. They're not into the 4 card. It's 5 card, 6 card. They go crazy for it, and that's why we started to introduce the 5 card. Do you know what I mean? Just to whet people's appetite, like, you know. Maybe we start with the 5 and 6 card, you know, next year, maybe, you know. Certainly round level of 4, 5, and 6, you know. But yeah, no, the Omahas are hugely successful for us. We all like down in Cork, we miss guarantees, like, but the Omaha hit the guarantees. Do you know what I mean? Which is crazy. You know, you traditionally be the other way around. You'd be struggling with the Omaha, and like the Hold'em just, you know, would always get over the line, you know. So and now we stick guarantees on them as well, like, which is there's a big one in Galway, like I'm just going to it here, Galway in the Galmont.
It's 2K.
We have a high roller Omaha. It's 1650 high roller, yeah, and we put a 40K guarantee on it. That's on the Friday the 4th or 5th of January in the Galmont.
2 o'clock Friday.
And a bunch of ways to qualify. And you know what? We might even get Paddy Power to do a couple of satellites for that particular one, because we did that before and it went pretty well. So yeah, like Omaha is now I'm probably boring the ears of people that don't play Omaha, but we have a very strong Omaha following, like, you know.
Yeah, but it's not like, you know, Texas Hold'em's not catered for. So every now and then it's okay to play Omaha.
Of course, yeah. And like one of the winners of one of the Omaha events, Mary Seary, she doesn't play Omaha, and she was in the last event in the Green Isle, and she was like, "What is it? A 4 and 5 card?" She doesn't play Omaha, and she played cash. She said to me afterwards, I had to laugh. She said, "I played cash in the Bonington once, and one of the lads said to me, "Oh, don't be playing Omaha Cash," and she felt really bad because she loved it, and she thought, "Oh, there's something wrong with me because I love it." you know. So she went, she played the tournament, and she won the tournament, the first Omaha tournament. You know.
Brilliant. And actually, I have the question here from Ross Ellis, wondering if there might ever be a round of each tournament. And anyone that used to play in the Fitzwilliam Carr Club back in the day, Saturday night was the round of each tournament, and that's showing my age.
Maybe you could answer this, especially you, Paul. But I'm not a fan of the round of each. I prefer to either play Omaha or to play Oldham. You know, playing the round of each.
I think you should. I think you should give up home. To be honest with you, Oldham and Omaha. I'm easy going. I'm playing.
I tell you, after the way I seen Darren play Omaha in the Green Isle, I'm totally I'm an absolute wizard.
I was going to say the one advantage of the round of each is that it gives total newbies to Omaha like Darren the chance to give it a go.
Absolutely.
I think it's a good idea. Round of each is a good idea. Side event round of each would be a good idea. Small buy-in side event round of each, maybe 200 or something, or 150 side event round of each. Sounds good to me. Anyway, I'd play it anyway. It'd be packed at the end of the
Of course,
wind down.
You'd be planning all right for £10 if they allowed you.
Carry it enter an Indian poker tournament for 500 quid.
I was watching that actually on Game of Gold. I think that's a great idea. Indian poker. Look fucking class it did. I fucking thought it was brilliant.
I could see a lot of problems with that Indian poker. I believe me.
You pull a card out of your pocket.
I could see a lot of problems now, to be honest.
You want to do it like that,
It looks like
where you got
back
the headband and you can put the card in the headband. But no, in all seriousness, there's an awful lot of players that play Hold'em that would like to give Omaha a go, but I don't think they'd want to enter a full Omaha tournament and pay a full buy-in of like 400, 500 quid, but they might give a round of each tournament of 150, one rebuy or one re-entry a go, you know, to give it a chance, see what it's like and see what they can do without A, losing their bollocks, and B, you know, being in a tournament with loads of Omaha pros, you know, all, you know, are totally killer, you know, but they can be in a tournament with plenty of other players that have the same level of or lack of experience playing Omaha as they have. So
I think it's a great idea anyway.
Yeah. Thanks for the question, Ross. Right, lads, I think we'll leave it there because we're hitting the hour mark, and you know, Darren has to go feed the kids, and Paul has to go find some money to pay the electricity bill for the Christmas tree.
I had to come out of the sitting room because the lights were flashing all over the place. They're on test room with Dave a while ago because you're going to have to turn off the lights. I said, it's fucking Christmas. What's wrong with you?
I said, you give somebody an epileptic fit. That's why. We stick on
you should see Fitton's house. Fitton has lights on over his front garden, up in the roof, everything.
At least they're not flashing. Oh my God.
Yes, Ross.
Anyway, leaderboard champion Paul Carr, thank you very much. Second place on the leaderboard, Darren Harbinson, thank you very much. And degenerate Omaha gambling addict Fintan Gavin. Thank you very much. But Carrie made me say it. He made me say it. He said I have to slag you off her. But anyway, everybody, as we said, the Irish Poker Tour final event is happening. Dates. Thursday the 28th, Friday the 29th, and Saturday the 30th of December. So when you're fed up of your in-laws, you've had enough turkey on St. Stephen's Day, and you want to get out of the house, you know where to go. The Green Isle in Dublin, starting with the Paddy Power Mystery Bounty one day on Thursday at 1 o'clock. And if anybody wants to book some room at the Green Isle Hotel, just jump on the website and go to contact us, and you'll see Susie's name, and you can give her a message and she'll organise some room for you. And be quick about it because those packages are going fast on Paddy Power, and I booked my hotel room with Susie today. But any final things to mention there, Fintan?
No, just congratulations to Paul. Well done. And Darren, fair play to you, lads. Looking forward to next year. Yeah. Looking forward to next year. It's exciting. We love live poker. We're living in good times. Like it's it's live poker is booming, and yeah, really, really looking forward to it. So yeah, and looking forward to our new tour manager. We'll announce that next week. Yeah, that's about it for me. Yeah.
Fantastic. Everybody have a good Christmas. We'll see you in the Green Isle, and
Yes,
please
okay.
do hit the like button on Facebook and subscribe button on YouTube. And go follow us on Twitter. I'm never calling it X. Because we do put out a huge amount of content, a huge amount of information. There's always some articles going up on the website, and we do just want to keep you informed. We're not spammy. We don't want to just push stuff into your phone. We do give you information about what's going on in the Irish Poker Tour and what events are coming up. And we do really appreciate every single player that puts their money down and enters the tournament, that have done it for the last 2-3 years since the end of lockdown. And we will continue to do it over the next 12 months. And like Fintan says, if you've got anything you want to discuss or anything you want to tell us about how we can improve our events, please don't hesitate to send us an email. We will listen to all comers. Won't necessarily implement everything that's suggested, but we'll definitely listen to it. We really do want to make things the best it can be. And so far, so good, Fintan. So let's keep it going.
Yeah, just
Thanks,
a
everybody.
quick one on that. That's a really good point. We try. I mean, it's the reality is sometimes it's not easy to listen to every single person. Do you know what I mean? But there is avenues. Like that's what the lads. You talk to them. Tanya Masters is a great girl to talk to because she'll. You know what I mean? I'd be listening to some players and oh my God, Tanya is like really good. She'd sit down for like literally an hour with a player, no problem. Yeah. So if someone has anything they want to contribute, we're open to listen, and that improves our business all the time. It really does.
It is important that you contact us if you can via the email, via the website, because sometimes when you want to say something in the middle of an event, it's just nuts. So you might not get the response or the immediate response, because Fintan and Donald do try their best, but when you're running out of dealers, running out of chips, running out of tables, it can be a bit stressful. But you can always contact us on Facebook and Messenger, or through the website in the contact us form. No problem at all. We're glad to have it. Thanks very much, lads. Happy Christmas, everybody.
Okay, see you guys.
We'll see you in the
Happy
Green
Christmas,
Isle.
guys.
Good luck.
Cheers.
All right, so good luck, lads. Bye.